Loading, 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 and we
We
are
are
live!
Hey everyone, this was a really smooth one. I'm really proud of us.
A lot of energy. I think I already have my
Some
coffee.
good coffee.
Yeah.
Some good coffee.
So tell me.
Earliest coffee break that we've had so far.
Oh,
This is good for a non-morning person. I was like, okay, let's see if we can do it. But I'm actually, I'm doing good so far.
The guest today is really special. To
Yeah.
make rolls, wake up.
I was like, okay. For this
Before
guest,
8.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, we have that internal joke about it before 8 live roasted.
Yeah. So if you're joining us, let us know where you're joining us from. We're curious to see where our viewers are today. So I'm just going to open up the live screen here.
Let's share.
So let's see. Where are you joining us from? What do you have? Do you have your coffee? Do you have your tea? Because we want to hear from you. Yeah. So, Philippe, today, I thought we could do something new before we introduce our guest.
Oh my gosh. I'm not so good in improv, but let's do it.
Okay. So I wanted to do like a dilemma on Tuesday. You know, like these dilemmas that you have to choose between, and they're always like hard dilemmas. I hope I chose a right dilemma. Dilemma. Because I wanted to do like a quarantine lockdown dilemma, because we've been in lockdown the whole time. I know that the Netherlands has been in lockdown, in Ireland, of course, as well. Yeah. So if you had to choose between either no hairdressers during lockdown or no takeaway coffee during lockdown.
Really good. Like I did my hair last week.
Yeah, Philippe did his own hair. So
the hairdress I don't know. The hairdress is a problem because you can see the back. The back is the worst part for me. I always I ask for help, and I have the setup that I put the camera to see the but. Yeah, I would choose the takeaway coffee. I need the takeaway coffee. I really miss that. We don't have here in Portugal, and
so for the lockdown, they didn't allow takeaway coffees, which we were like, you kind of like miss walking and having a takeaway coffee.
Yeah, in Ireland we have Ranelagh that we use to walk, and we have like Nick's coffee. Really miss Nick's coffee, please. I want to come back to Ireland just to have like a coffee at Nick's Coffee, and for you.
For me, I think it's almost a tie, but I do really need to go to the hairdresser still. And I know that they did reopen the hairdressers last week. So I'm going to be going very soon. But yeah, I think the hairdressers wins it for me.
I can do your hair.
Yeah, I know you said that. I'm still kind of postponing that situation.
Yeah. Rose, I can do that. I was like, no, it's fine.
Philippe's mom is a hairdresser, so he was like, okay, we can actually, dial my mom in and then have her give instructions. And I was like, okay, if it gets to that point, we'll do that. But let's see if we can, if I can actually make it to the hairdresser. So actually, if you're listening, I'm curious to hear for you if in this lockdown dilemma.
Rosanna is here. Rosanna is saying good morning from London.
Good morning from London. Hi.
Rosanna was with us in Galway.
Yeah. Oh, it was so fun. We had pints in Galway.
Yeah. It was really such a good time there. Hi, Rosanna.
In a different world still.
Yeah, different world.
And so I'm curious if you're watching this lockdown dilemma. I'm just introducing a new thing here.
Yeah.
So either if you had to choose between no takeaway coffees or no hairdressers, what would you go for? Because these days, these are the realities that we are in. Not that we have to choose, but
just leave in a comment.
Yeah. Okay.
So are we seeing us on LinkedIn?
So I'm actually not getting the comments that you are getting. So we'll just give people some time to wake up. Actually,
if you reload them.
Yeah,
we have like 3 people.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I just want to go ahead and introduce today's guest. And then if we see some comments coming in, that will all be fine. So today's guest is a brand and community specialist. So we'll be asking a little bit around branding tips, I'm sure that she has some good ones for us today. She's also the co-founder of the company Glitter&Goals, and I think only when I heard that name, I was like, okay, that's it. She needs to come in Coffee Break now. Actually, we worked together about 10 years ago.
I have a picture here. Can I show?
We have a picture, yeah.
That's
oh my gosh, this is a picture that was basically it was taken, as I said, 10 years ago with a Samsung S3. I did my research.
Teenagers.
We were teenagers. We worked together in TV production in Rotterdam 10 years ago. She was let go during the pandemic, and then decided to turn it around and was like, I'm going to launch my own company. I'm going to make this work. She built her new company, Glitter&Goals, with her business partner, and which will be a company, but also a platform. And I'm sure she's going to talk to us more about that. So I think we should just invite Arysha into the call.
Yeah, we just add Arysha. Hi, Arysha.
Morning.
Morning.
Did you like that picture?
Oh my God. Such a long time ago, and what a night that was. My God.
Oh my gosh.
I do have more pictures here.
We have more pictures on file, but they're not from the throwback time. But I actually did my research, and it was taken with a Samsung S3. And already at that time, we were complaining about the quality of it, because I was looking at this picture. It's like, whoa, was this what pictures looked like 10 years ago? Yeah. But actually, it was already kind of like a...
And it's so funny. I was editing that picture. I was like,
yeah,
it's so blurry, the image, but at that time we're just like, oh, that's amazing high quality image. Because
can you bring it up again?
Yeah,
it's just like
and there's a picture.
Where were my eyebrows? My God.
Oh gosh, this was the time that I was exploring Rotterdam, because that's where we were working.
Yeah.
And we were working, it was a work hard, play hard environment in that sense. So it was actually a really fun time.
It was a fun time. Now, if you look back at it, it was a fun time, but otherwise it was also so brutal. It was.
There's two sides. There's two sides to everything. So, Arysha, you're here today as our Glitter&Goals specialist. So actually, I was just saying, like, I was doing this introduction about you, but what would you say between the lockdown dilemma? Which one would you choose? The hairdressers or takeaway coffee?
Definitely the takeaway coffee. I cannot live without my takeaway coffee. That is something I look forward to. So I'm Team Philippe. Hi. No. No, for real. You know, that's something that I really need. It's my daily outing. It's something I look forward in the weekend to. Me and my boyfriend have really special places where we go to, where we're making also friends. So no, and I love, yeah.
Social coffees.
Special coffee, special friends. Yes.
Because like, I remember when takeaway coffees were the only option in Dublin, for instance. I was like, oh, you know, it would be so amazing to just be able to sit down with a coffee again in a coffee house. And now the next highlight is, as you say, it really became our thing to like have our takeaway coffee and just kind of have our coffee run and have our coffee break and brainstorm about this show, for instance. Yeah. So it's really this kind of like break that you make for yourself. Yeah.
Don't you miss it, guys? Because you told us now that you cannot do it. It's crazy.
Yeah. So they did this last Monday. They reopened, or they are re-allowing coffee houses to do takeaway coffee. But actually, I did a run yesterday, and there's not much open here yet. Yeah. So that's probably also because it's still winter season. So I think in 2 weeks, terraces will be able to reopen here, which will be the big one. And then I'm sure that more places will be opening. So yeah, we'll be good. And so far we have good coffee here. So we're good so far.
We have our coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
You're welcome. Okay.
So let's talk about your story, because it's it's like, I think it's an important one to tell, because can you tell us a little bit about how everything went down when all of a sudden you were let go during the pandemic, and then what did you decide then? Like, how did you kind of like come to this point?
Well, that's quite a journey. So I think back in June 2020, I heard that I was laid off. And it was
Mm-hmm.
quite unexpected because the company I worked for is a hotel and they also run restaurants and also co working spaces. But
Mm-hmm.
the co working space part was running very well. So I didn't really expect to, yeah, lose my job. But then they said, yeah, they had to be early with their changes within. And I was the one who was one of the first ones. So it was kind of a shock, of course. And I worked there for 2 years. I was running two co working spaces and I had so much fun with it. It was so intense. When we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about that intense job that we had 10 years ago, this one was like, I think 10 times even bigger and also better. But yeah, it was quite intense. But I loved it so much and I got to meet so many nice people. And yeah, it was kind of a change because you're so working like almost like the 24/7 hours that I was doing. And then all of a
Yes.
sudden that's gone. Yeah, that's quite a change. That is so I had to really like take my time, get used to it. Also because it was so sudden, also I had a period where I really had to think to myself, okay, what just happened and how am I, yeah, getting better into yeah, the person that I want to be and the ambitious person that I am, and how am I
Mm-hmm.
making sure that my goals are still met. So yeah, it was first a time of healing, I have to be honest about. And then after that healing, with a lot of help of really nice people, I got to myself and I was thinking, oh, I need to do something. And I'm really, I don't want Corona to, yeah, be really affected. I have to be really affected by Corona times. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
as somebody who is planning to open her own business and with all the plans that I had, a lot of plans couldn't go on because of Corona.
Mm.
So to
Yeah.
be honest, I had, I think, three other ideas before I got to this idea, what I'm doing now.
Right. Yeah. But I feel like since I've known you, there was always this kind of, you had different ideas, different
Yeah.
entrepreneurial ideas. So did you not feel at some point like maybe this is just a push that I need to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's really good that you're saying that. That's true. It's you have to have, if you want to become like an entrepreneur, you have to have the guts. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling a little bit, yeah, my self confidence wasn't that high, and I always thought, yeah, will somebody hire me? And can I do this? And is my idea, is it well? And is it a good idea? But you have to stop listening to those stupid voices in your head, because if you know you have a good idea, just talk to people. And if you see that they become, really enthusiastic, just go for it. And your inner
Mm-hmm.
circle will tell you if it's not good or if it's good or not. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's true, And after that layoff, I really thought this is my time. I have to do something for myself. Yeah.
Right. And then what happened when you realized that this was a time that you had to do for yourself? Like, was that a shock or were you all of a sudden kind of like ready to go?
I was not ready to go. No, not at all. Like how you see me now, just smiling and being my enthusiastic self. I was the opposite of that. I was just laying in bed. The summertime, I really didn't notice the summertime at all because I was
Mhm.
so, yeah, like I said, the I had to get not attached anymore of my old working space, and then have like the self love to start something all over again. And these times are sometimes quite scary because you hear so many bad things happening of people who are losing their jobs, or they have their own company, but they didn't have any people or any clients who could help them. So I was really afraid of, can I get clients in these times? But you can. The only thing is that, yeah, you have to really think about what you want to do, what's really fitting you, where your talents
Mhm.
at, where your passions at, and then just start. And so the funny thing is that I had an idea to start a ghost kitchen. That was my first
Mhm.
idea, and
Yeah.
also to combine it with an event space. But that was not really happening because I couldn't find an investor. So that was really something that, yeah, I was really looking forward. I told everyone, this is my new plan. I'm going to do that. And everyone loved that idea because I also hosted a lot of events. So people thought this is something for you, and you know a lot about, you know, the culinary scene. So it was something for me, but the timing was not right. And gradually I got to the idea like, okay, what am I really good at? And that's advising people how to present themselves online and to make them really feel good about themselves. And that's how I gradually thought about, okay, what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a creative brand and community specialist.
Yeah, love it. And what I kind of like, what stood out to me is that you were actually very honest about that time that, you know, it wasn't going so well.
No.
And I was wondering, because you were very honest on Instagram, for instance, about, you know, this has been a hard time for me. Even on LinkedIn, you were very honest about, listen, it's a tough time. Like, I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to do this. And I was wondering if you thought it was difficult maybe to share that, or did you maybe second guess if you wanted to share that? Because I think a lot of the times we're trying to be so strong towards the outside world and be like, oh, it's fine, you know? So how did you go about that?
Well, that took a lot of time, but I think that because I was always the one who was always smiling, nothing's going wrong, you know, but in the inside, a lot of things weren't that going that well. And I think the pain of losing this job and that it was all of a sudden and that I got just shifted away, the pain was, I think, so big that I couldn't lie anymore. And it was this pain combined with in Corona times, combined with, I'm 36, I need to be here, and I'm not there at all. You know, the expectations that you tell yourself when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, it doesn't even matter.
Where did you want to be when you were like, what was the goal that you would have wanted or thought you would have been at then?
I think my own big house. It's such a shallow.
A lot of us have that goal. Yeah, no, it's not, but it's this point that you think you're gonna get to, and then you know, like, you've made it or something. Yeah,
as if that is no, but it's so weird. But I think for me, it was also having like a company where I don't know, would have lots of clients, my own car, lots of success. And the funny thing is, now I say it out loud, then I'm like, that's not even how I feel now. What's a success thing or a big success thing? Like being happy in your own skin and just being yourself. And sometimes you don't even know, because if you would ask me now, then what kind of company would that be? I don't even know. Then it would be something else than what I'm doing now. And what I'm doing now is making me happy. So yeah, I think the standard things of how you think you should be or where you think you should be. Or I think I know it. I thought I would be living in New York, and then.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's not the place where you want to be now.
No, totally not. So,
but how did people respond to you being more vulnerable for the first time?
Well, I think that a lot of people first day were like, "Oh, I don't know this side of you." A lot of people liked it because they always said, Arysha, you're not that open. And I was like, I'm not that open. That's not true because I'm so bubbly and enthusiastic. But there's a big difference between being really open and just having that mask on of being always happy. So I got different conversations. I got different interactions. I made new friends. People really, I think that's the real big difference, that people helped me for the first time. They really, really helped me because I was that open and vulnerable. I couldn't say anymore like, oh, I don't need your help. No, it's fine. It's fine. They saw that I didn't feel well and I needed help, and they helped me. So that's the biggest part. Yeah.
I think that is actually a really good point and I see that in myself is when I see someone that kind of like has the guts to open up to people and be like, you know what, I'm not doing okay right now.
Yeah.
And I actually love that there's more of that happening on social media platforms, that people are kind of like showing more of a background to things. And one thing that I notice when I see one of those messages is that, as you say, you just want to help people. You're just like, oh, can I help something? Or do you want to do a call and we can see how we can collaborate? And it's just like, it's made me realize that it is so important to be a little bit more open about that when you feel okay about it, of course. But just to show that sometimes, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs notice, not just entrepreneurs, any one of us knows that in these times, like, and sometimes we won't be okay, and that it's okay to admit that. I'm wondering, how are you looking now at other people starting their own dreams and starting their own companies? Like, how has your view changed of them?
No, not really, because I always saw other people as the heroes when they were doing their own thing and that they were pursuing their own dreams. I was always, when I was working at my old job, I worked with a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, and business owners, and I was always their cheerleader. So and that's why I got that back now. Now I'm starting all over again. But I was always their cheerleader, and I always thought it is so nice, but it's also, it takes, like I said, it takes so much guts to just start your own path. Just start your own dream and think about, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm good at, and I'm going to do it, and not think about, oh, what is going to happen, or oh no, just do it. And I think that is something that I can only commend. And has that changed? Not so much, because the only thing that has changed is that now I see myself as one of them instead of just looking up to them. Now it's like it's more even.
And I have the exact same thing. Is when I look at other people starting their own dreams, I really want to support them or show them, like, be that cheerleader, as you say, because I know from my own experience, not just this time around, but the time after I left TV Media Partners, just like you, and I started my own company. Like, once you know how difficult it is, but also, it's such a cool process and everything. Like, it's everything. Like, once you know that, you definitely help other people more, and you're just like more, you kind of like want to help other people even more to get there as well.
Because now like you're in their shoes as well.
So What do you like most about the journey so far?
I think the connections that I've made, that they are deeper now, that they're not that shallow anymore. I think accepting help is one of the most beautiful things. And also, I think, I think that's it. One of those things is one of the things that I really love. And that is one of the biggest changes. So I think, And
what's the most challenging?
The most challenging is not to listen to, I watch RuPaul's Drag Race. And they
we watch it.
You do?
Yes. We
nice. And then what he's saying, not to listen to your inner saboteur. And that's really the thing. That's one of the challenges for me, not to think, you're just one of the persons who is now starting their own business, or are you going to get clients, or that thing, that part, or is it different enough? Those doubts, please don't listen to it. That's one of the challenges that I have. And it's really getting better, because I think if you're really staying true to yourself and you're really listening to yourself, okay, this is what I want to do, then that fear, it gets smaller. So I think that's one of the tricks to really tackle that. Because if you do something that you're really not, you're not staying really behind it, and you're really like, oh, I don't know if I want to, but I have to do it, then your heart feels, and your energy also feels like, oh, I don't know if that's something you should do. And now doing something that I love and exploring that made the difference.
I totally agree. I have a life coach who actually told me you have to be able to play well in an empty stadium. And and I was like, that's so true, because like, if you're doing things only just because, people that are watching are saying like, oh, I really like this, then you're doing it for something that you think other people like. Whereas when you do something that you really like and you're 100% authentic about as well,
Yeah.
then what people say is that, other people can't really, they can't really hurt you with that, or like, because it's just totally you.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's 100% true that they can't hurt you, because it's also such a vulnerable space, because you're actually doing something that's so close to you.
Yeah.
But I think it's the only thing that you can be doing, right? Is something that's so personally you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good advice.
Yeah. Actually, Neil, one of our first game changers, he had a really good one on kind of like, how do you tackle limiting beliefs? And he said to write on one page in the morning, he writes all his limiting beliefs on the left-hand side of the page.
Oh, wow.
And then he crosses it out and he writes like a belief that's the opposite of that. Like, for instance, he was talking about he's writing his book. He's going to be launching his own book soon. And he was something like, like, why am I writing this book? Like, cross it out. I'm going to write a bestseller, or this is going to be a bestseller. So that's kind of like, I was like, because like, if you're very visual like that, that could be really helpful. I really like that tip that he gave us. Yeah.
And also,
No, just to remind people that we are on LinkedIn, on YouTube as well. If you have any comments, any questions.
If you have any questions for Arysha, feel free to ask them. What did you want to say just now, Arysha? Because we
I think no worries. I think that writing your successes down every day is also a good one. Also one that I thought, and that's really something that you have to do. Writing successes down, and also what are you proud of? What are your proud moments of the day? If you do that, write 5 to 10 down. Sounds a lot, but if you think about it, it's not. If you do that every day and you look back at it at the end of the week, that's a really good one.
I think that's a really good one as well, because like sometimes I know myself, I'll be looking at the things that I haven't done. Like I'm like, I wish I could have done this or this, because there's always so many things that you want to do. Especially, I think when you start working for yourself, it's just like there's this abundance of things that you could be working on, and it's easy to get carried away. But then sometimes you have to be like, okay, but these are all the things that I did do, which is amazing. What's your tip about that?
Yeah, like for me, I always have that thing on my mind, like the life is good, like the life's good. but now I'm externalized that, because I'm saying all day long the life's good, because even like the whole challenge that we have, or the whole change, or it's that we still like doing well, and we still like just look for the good things. We always have like good things to look after them.
Yeah, you're really good at that. Yeah, very positive.
And this for me also is really a challenge to like get a rose on track and say, oh look, you have because like always you look for like the like always like she looked at the thing. Oh, I didn't make that today. I was like, you were like the whole day working, like you did like those bunch of things. But why you're like looking for that now? Like just look for the bucket, the things that you have done, not for the bucket, the things that you didn't.
It's true, but it's so funny because I'm very like kind of like Dutch about that, like the stereotypical way of like, if it's on the list, I'm gonna do it. Like if it's on the planning, I'm gonna do it, and I'm cross it out. And then I actually learned again from the same life coach. She's like amazing. She was like, well, if you feel like doing this, like you're probably gonna be better at doing this, and then like just see if you can do the other things as well. And so sometimes I would get to the end of a day and do something completely different than what I had on the to-do list, but it was really good. But then I still have this guilt of like, oh no, I didn't get to those things, when it's just because it's written down is not that it's like, the actual truth.
I have those jokes about like the being Dutch. I was like, oh my God.
Not having a plan.
No plans, or even like
tips on time.
But the whole thing about the unknown, like, because what we are living now. So for me, I know we have the plan A, B, and C, and D, but even the D will be good. But yeah, for Rose, like just the possibility to have like 3 different plans is already like yeah, 3 are like 3 possibilities is too much. Like
no, like it's just about kind of like, I don't know, having this sense of control over things, and like in this situation we don't have a sense of control.
No, I think that's the thing also, that you guys, you changed so much in also a half a year, and I think you want to have that sense of control, that you have, oh well, if I did my list, then I have still a sense of control in my life. And I think that's very logical, but still don't be so hard on yourself just because so much happened and so much changed. Then don't be so critical, because you guys done a lot, and more than a lot of people did or can do. So just be proud.
Coach Arysha. Love it.
See, I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I knew that. I was very sure about that already. So looking back from, you know, so far this adventure, because we can call it an adventure so far, what worked for you, and what would you not repeat again? Like, what have you learned from it as well?
I think what I've not would repeat again is to have like that pressure in my head that everything has to happen now, because I really had that pressure, like, okay, I just lost my job and now I have to have a new job within 4 weeks or less even.
Yeah, this timeline.
This time, exactly. Again, this timeline that I had. And that's why I think didn't do some stuff that were not me, but I think I pressured myself sometimes too soon in doing some assignments, or I don't know, doing stuff that maybe wasn't really me, because I thought, oh, I have to stay at work and I have to work, instead of, no, you need to rest, because something happened and you have to heal yourself. So I think that was for me something that I wouldn't do at all. If something happens to you and it hurts you, or you get scared, or you feel lost, just take the time to heal, and take the time also to see the bigger picture of it, because we're in a pandemic. You cannot change anything within a second. That's not possible right now. So just sometimes take your time, and some days are going to go well, and you've done, I don't know, tons of things, and other days you have a rest day. So I think that's also your answer with what helps for me, is that sometimes I do still have a day of rest. Well, okay, 4 hours. It's not really a day, I have to be honest, but where I take my time, and I'm not meeting people. I'm just staying at home with my boyfriend and my cats, and just chill out and do nothing, try to do nothing, because now just working 7 days as an entrepreneur, you're never free. I know that. I've chosen that path myself, but I have to be honest still. Sometimes just take your rest, take your time, go for a walk, go meditate, do yoga, listen to music, stuff like that, Netflix, and chill. I don't know, but just listen to your body. That's the best tip I can give you, because sometimes I was just, I don't know why I'm feeling that anxious or tired. And my boyfriend is like, duh, Arysha, you done so much, or you're pressuring yourself, or you're being too hard for yourself. So
I really recognize this idea of always needing to be productive. And I think it's something that you get used to. Like for me, for instance, I've been working in LinkedIn for the last almost 4 years, and like it's a very productive environment. So I was just like going into my own entrepreneurial me. I was just like every minute, every hour, I wanted to be productive and be kind of like very pushy towards myself. When actually, like if you're a creative, you just need to work at the hours that are most productive for you. And you know, like, and that could be the evenings. For me, it was actually usually kind of like 3 to 9 p.m. It was like my sweet spot. So I just kind of like switched it around and started working more from afternoons to evenings. when I still had this idea in my head, because I'd been used to working from kind of like, the classic 9 to 5 or a bit longer. That was kind of like what I was used to. So I had in my mind, like, this is what it needs to be like.
Yeah.
But you really need to shift your whole perspective again. And yeah,
that's such a good one. And that's really like, okay, so what is working for you? And that's one of the most beautiful things of having your own business, is to figure out for yourself what is working for you. And if you're saying, okay, working from 3 till 9, that is something that I get most of my productive things out of, then that's the thing that you have to do. And that's a really good one. For me, it's, I think, working in a co-working space instead of at home is something that really works for me. It's not the 9 to 5 at all. It's more, I think, 9:30 till 6, and sometimes in the evening when I'm just laying on the couch and I have an idea. And what you're saying about being creative, that there's no timeline on that.
Exactly.
When you're in the shower, you're like, I have an idea. Or when you're walking outside, that's also a good idea, So having that flow and the freedom to have that flow in your life right now, that's awesome.
That's a big thing. And the one thing that I realized is like, okay, I wanted to do this, because I wanted to work on my video projects, but 2, because I wanted to have the flexibility and kind of like, the time to be creative as well. And that's when I actually started realizing, like, I shouldn't kind of like pin myself down to like a normal 9 to 5 schedule. Like whenever, like if you get ideas in the middle of the night, like now I'll really get out of bed and I'll just like start writing them down and just to get them out of my head. And like, if I feel like I want to work at that time, I'm going to work at that time.
You're going to do it.
And how you organize your day, like because like you have the control and you have the freedom, and how you plan like your day, like you have a schedule that you follow, you have like a board or something. You have something that you
I do. First of all, I have to be more structured, because I know I can be a little bit sometimes for myself, I think, all over the place. But what I do is I really work with my agenda now. Normally, I didn't do it, but for now, I have a lot of different appointments. So because I have also, next to my own business, I'm working as a community manager for the freelance community. Hi, guys. And I work there for 16 hours a week. And one day of the week, I'm going to Amsterdam. And the second part of the 2-day contract, I work also in another city, normally, or The Hague, or also in Rotterdam. So that means that my schedule already is pretty like not tight, but I know, okay, those 2 days I'm working for them.
You have a structure.
I have a structure. Yeah, exactly. And the rest of the days, my co-founder, she also is working also together with me, because we're doing a podcast. And she also knows, okay, I'm also available on the Wednesdays. So Wednesdays.
I do. Sorry, I will just like add a picture here, because I do have a picture. You can comment.
Yes.
That's us. Yeah. Glitter&Goals. And we're also producing business photo shoots for people who need to amp up their LinkedIn or their website or their other socials, mostly Instagram. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. I also needed a business photo shoot for myself. So,
love it.
Love that.
Yeah. First time I'm in the Netherlands, I want to stop by for my photo shoot as well.
Yeah, and I do love that. This one is really good.
Looks very much like here. The palm trees and everything.
That is a hotel, and I love hotels. I love nice luxury hotels. And
Rose also like. Well, the highlights for like Rose, like being a business travel, like always like
getting a good hotel.
That is the best thing. and when they have like good breakfast, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Good breakfast is like this best. Like, this is the funny thing. I'm not a morning person, but I love a good breakfast, and like having my coffee downstairs is just so cozy.
Oh, that's life. I know.
Like,
And when they have pancakes and stuff, and not only
Yeah,
boiled eggs,
amazing.
that's a good hotel. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're busy with that, and we're busy producing the photo shoots for entrepreneurs, startups, agencies, and because everyone is more online now as ever, the focus is also on getting better images. So like high quality, really something that's really fitting for you, something that is really nice and is really saying something about your personality. And yeah, we're busy with that, and that's why we have quite some appointments. So to get back to your question, it's really about the appointments that I have, and between that, I'm trying to do my things behind the laptop. And
Yeah.
but my structure needs to be better than that. I know for myself, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think it kind of helps when you already have those set hours of these, like I know that that's taken up with this, and then I have the free space around that. It kind of helps you structure your week already. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So that helps. But I like yesterday, I had such a busy day. I had 2 intake meetings where we were talking about, getting to know each other with a new client, brainstorming. I had a meeting with my other job, with community, visiting a really nice co-working location in The Hague. Then I was rushing to that other co-working space that I have, and I was doing my podcasting because we were hosting a podcast.
Yes.
Also,
We have a picture of that as
I
well.
have a picture of that as well.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
So arrogancia y elegancia.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm also doing that, and those conversations that we have during our podcast are exactly like this, where we're talking about how to being an entrepreneur on your own terms, and really, just being you in your journey into being an entrepreneur and what comes to it, and also the mental health part of it. We also like to tackle that, because that's also a really big part of how to be a good entrepreneur for yourself and also for your clients, but also for your family. So we're discussing that, and
just what is the name for the podcast? And
also
just
Glitter&Goals.
Glitter&Goals. Okay.
Yeah.
If someone wants to find where they can find that.
We're going live next week. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, then I will share it, and you can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, then, and the whole shebang. So we're really going to share it with the world.
Yeah.
Good. Excited to hear the first episode. Looks very professional. Love this whole podcast look.
Thank you.
What is your, from, I know that you started doing the podcast, but what, from your own experiences, and maybe from talking to other people as well, what is your advice to other game changers, people that want to take a big step in their life?
Just do it. That's just one thing. And somebody said, don't wait for the perfect moment to start a business. I was waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't come at all. So just be you and really feel like, okay, this is what I want to do. Really be also critical about yourself. But okay, what are your talents? What is your passion? What do you want to do? And is this also something you can do in this time of day? If everything is yes, then just do it, just start. And I think that's one of the things that is really my best advice, because I was thinking maybe I should wait before I got exactly my website. And I was like, no, don't wait for your website, because that's not the thing that gets all the clients. It's that people know why they can hire you, what you're doing, and if that's something for them. And if they know it's something for them, they're going to hire you. And don't wait for also like a perfect Insta or whatever. Just share that you're doing something and you're doing something awesome. Really believe that, and then just go for it.
Yeah, that's a really important one, like believing that you're doing something awesome, because I think sometimes when you're so in something, when you're so in a project, it can look so normal. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, we're just making videos here, like what are we, like, are we really doing something that special? But then like you actually take a step back, and it's like, you're helping other people, you're inspiring hopefully other people as well. So but it's hard sometimes to see when you're actually in the situation. And
Yeah, and sometimes you think that you have that really good base, but you think that you need to deliver more, and you waiting for deliver more when there are like loads of people that are like, oh, want to listen, like, oh, how you get there, or how you know that, and that you handle like really valuable information, but you don't value yourself that you have a valuable information. You're always waiting to have something like.
I feel like Philippe's talking about me again.
Yeah.
He was looking at you.
This
so,
person,
yeah.
this person I know.
And I don't know, like for me it was like really, for example, when I started like sharing on YouTube, like the content, like technical content, like, and at the beginning I was waiting like to show something advantage, like really advanced, and when they're like on YouTube, like the people are like learning, that they are going there to learn something new from the scratch. So if you show the base, it's already like a really good information. You don't need to be always at like advanced content. People are looking for base content, intermediate content. It's not the one for you. It's not the one for you, Rose.
No, but the funny thing is, what you're saying is that
the one who launched a company called Glitter&Goals.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what your own new end goal is now, because we talked about what was your goal before, but what do you see as your own goal at this moment?
Well, my goal is to really help entrepreneurs and people who are starting for themselves, or people who are working next level. They think if they need to like have the next level of their plan and their business. I think what I love to do is to help them out, because
we're just having some issue with the audio here.
Oh,
yeah, now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. No issue. Yeah, so as I was saying, I think you said a good thing, Rose, about having that view of yourself where you take yourself out of the bigger picture and see what you're doing. And if you see what you're doing, then you can really start also with the storytelling on your socials. And I think if you really write down also, this is what I'm doing, then you see, okay, oh, that's really nice. Or, oh, that's not that usual. No, it's not, because you're doing something really great. And my part of this, and also my goal, is to really help people see for themselves that their unique selling points are really unique and that they're not like everyone else. So, for example, we did a business photo shoot with an entrepreneur who said, okay, I'm a coach, but I want to go next level, because she feels like, she's 2 years into her own journey. And she was like, yeah, but I want to be next level. But still, she was a little bit doubtful and a little bit shy about it. And then within the photo shoot, we gave her advice. And we were like, no, it is awesome what you're doing, because you're one of the few people who is doing what you're doing. And the clients that you have are also really happy about what you're doing. And I think to see for people that have like a helicopter view of what they're doing, and that thinking really about their personal branding is something that I love to do. And that's my goal, just to make them happy during a photo shoot, and that they exude their self-confidence. And if you see that on an image, people want to hire you, or people want to be your client. So next to producing that, and next to really thinking about the concept of the business photo shoot, I love to still be the cheerleader, because I really believe that if you have the guts to go on this journey, you should be really proud of yourself and celebrating that. So, and don't be that critical, Rose. So,
But I think it's also this idea of, what I totally agree on. And I'm a strong believer that if you make your content, you need to do it in a way that shows your own personality as well.
Yeah.
No matter if you're, like a corporate company, like you always need to, or like this, like entrepreneur, you always need to show who you are as a person. Like, who are you telling this story, basically? And I think that's something that you do in those photo shoots really well, to see like, who is this person? What is their story?
Yeah.
If people, like, obviously, I mean, I would totally recommend a photo shoot with you and your business partner, because it looks like really cool photos. But what would you recommend if people, don't have the option to do this photo shoot, but they want to make their own cool photos or they want to work on their own branding, what would you recommend them to do to start with?
Yeah, okay. So the one thing you have to do is make planning for yourself. Exactly what I said about having a helicopter view of all the things that you do. Just make a planning. If you're a coach, then make sure that what you're doing is you're having coaching about, I don't know, health and fit. Okay, write down everything you're teaching somebody. Then say something, have like a portion about what are you doing, who are you, and also what are your clients saying about you. If you make like a division of those three things, then you already have an awesome story to tell on your socials. When we're talking about your images, everyone has, I think, a pretty good camera. Also, the iPhone is super awesome. I have an iPhone 12. That's really good.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I want to get an iPhone 12 now because I've seen the photos and I've seen the videos and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And also the sound is also awesome if you want to be busy with video, content, with Reels and with IGTVs, then I would really recommend it. Also, talking about Reels and IGTV, you can also do that for yourself. Just ask your friend or your partner or anyone just to help you out and really, really be busy with Reels and IGTV. Because that's the thing that gives you really a lot of views. And also make sure that a lot of new people see you. So that's also a big tip that I would give you. And also be consistent with your posting because that's really, really important. Make sure that you're posting a minimum of 2 to 3 times a week. And you really use your IG stories because that's also something, that really, really helps. Also gets you a nice amount of views. So really be invested in your socials. Because you don't need really a person for that. Of course, a person will help you to really get everything nice and tight and super awesome. But if you don't have the means for now, just make sure that people really see what you're doing, that it's really clear, show the different sides of you, and also make really nice pictures of yourself and get the help for that. And then everything will work out.
And if you're talking about pictures, when people are making their own pictures, what can they think about in terms of like maybe colors or styling?
Yeah, styling is super important. We also give advice when it's about styling because we want to make sure that the person who is in front of the camera really feels well. So I'm not giving advice if this is not a really nice color for you. I would not say just wear this color.
I would not get away with that.
So please don't do that. But I think what is really important is to make sure that you feel nice and be representable in your clothes that you're wearing. So what we love to do, and that's also a nice tip that you can do for yourself, is to make sure that if you want to do the pictures yourself, really choose a nice location because location is everything. It really amps up the image. So my tip is to just see if you can maybe go outside and maybe take some pictures outside. Also, maybe you have friends who work at a restaurant or a hotel where you can shoot right now because, of course, everything is closed, but hotels aren't. So just to shoot in a hotel is a really good tip because, they also need content. So if you're saying to the person, maybe I'm going to make some nice pictures and I will share it on my Insta or my socials, and you can also use those photos, then they love it because they have extra free content. So I really would recommend that. And for the styling, I think just be you, but also amp it up. Just buy a nice jacket, go really out to go to shopping malls or to I don't know, so online shopping. And I think if you really just make something out of it because you're going out of your comfort zone, but just make really like a nice project out of it, then everything goes okay.
Cool. Okay, so staging and styling be you, but maybe look at how you can push yourself a little bit to go a little bit more than what you would normally go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Yeah, I think that it's something that like be you, but sometimes like was something that I learned. We went to cafeteria with like Bob, like LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah, in the US.
Yeah, in the US.
In California. Yeah.
And he was giving us that advice that be yourself, but also be in a different layer because sometimes you think that you are yourself, but because you are shy, you're you're like 10%, you're holding back, but so try to be like that, like extra
performance.
Yeah.
Your performance self. Yeah.
Perform itself, because you be natural, because that layer of like be shy, you just transpass that and you show like really yourself from that.
I think the way I like to see it is, for instance, when I have my wardrobe, I have normal clothes and I have like, I call them like presentation clothes, which is kind of like the go-to wardrobe that I have when I, back in the day when we used to do presentations in front of groups, that's what I would wear. It's kind of like the kind of like clothes that I felt comfortable in and that I liked wearing. And it's just kind of like, like you think about what do you want to kind of like look like on that day, but also about what you feel good in. Because I think that's also another thing, that if you are wearing clothes that you don't really feel good in, it's going to show as well.
Exactly.
So I think that's another thing, that you always have this kind of like the performance self, I think, that you can show up.
And also try to, what also a good tip is maybe to just go on Pinterest and also check on what kind of images do you like, or what kind of images do you want to see yourself in. And I think that also helps, because that also is like, okay, I love this image, then just try to not to fake it or imitate it, not at all, but just be inspired by those pictures. And then you also get to know, okay, maybe this kind of pose is working, or maybe that kind of outfit is working. There's so much inspiration to find online. I would also do that. I would not advise to just plan tomorrow a photo shoot and just do everything. No, make sure that, within a week or 2 weeks, you find out what is your inspiration, what kind of images do you like, what is a nice location you feel really comfortable in. Those kind of things really, really help.
I love that. It's really this whole creative process that goes behind it, and that kind of like helps you to make this right feel of the picture. I'm actually thinking, like, as you're saying Pinterest, I'm thinking about the Pinterest boards that I've been saving for we're planning our wedding. So like that's how I've been using Pinterest so far. And it's very addicting. But I actually really like that idea. I think we should be planning our next photo shoot and like
do that.
And that's really good about Pinterest as well, because once you start liking, they start like in the content that you like, so your feed start being adapted for yourself, so you get more like tips based on your taste. That's also is really good as well.
So in terms of I think because we're almost at the hour now, in terms of our key takeaways for today's coffee break, what is your key takeaway?
Oh my gosh, I have loads of things. So I think when the good one about like believe yourself that you mentioned at the beginning, and also be open to ask for help, not ask for help, but listen and be like transparent. I think is really important. I kind of do have the same personality. They say, "Oh, everything's fine," like smile, but sometimes like, "Oh, what about yourself?" So you're just like, "Smile, I'm fine," but
until it's not.
Until it's not. And if you just push for like so far, when I don't know when you're gonna be really bad, will be too late, and that's a really good thing that I also believe in that. And gosh, I just enjoyed the whole conversation. I didn't see the time pass. Like now we're like almost 1 hour.
I know. It's like, oh, we're almost there.
We're almost there.
For me, I definitely, what I'm taking away is the whole creative process that comes with, making this right picture that really shows you. And I think anything that involves like a creative process that you really have to kind of like sit down for and think about what kind of, like setting are you looking for? What kind of clothing are you imagining? I love that. I think that's something that I want to start working on, to have some cool branding picks here in Lagos, Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And I think also, you are the business, the girl boss or the businessman when you think about the things that you're all doing. And I think it's really a nice thing. It's not to be too modest about what you're doing. I think it's really important to really show yourself as the cool, awesome business person that you are. And I think it's really important to show that. And yeah, I think if you exude that proudness that you have inside of you and that you should have, then yeah, it shows on the image. And I think the energy you give on a photo is also so important, and people really see that because we have like 30 milliseconds to see if a photo is okay or not. So and then if people watch the image longer, yeah, then they will see, okay, if it's something for me or not. Okay, if it's something for me, yeah, then they will really be interested in the person that you are. And I think that's the way how we need to show ourselves now in this pandemic issue. Yeah, we have to show ourselves more online now, and that's really a good thing to do.
Yeah. And what you say about being proud of yourself, I 100% agree with that, because actually I had a similar experience to what I'm doing now when, 10 years ago, when I was like 24, 25, and I started my own company and I was building my own YouTube channel. And I was so scared at that point. Like, I was really happy to be doing what I was doing. Like, I loved it, but I was so scared about what other people were going to think of it. Was my work going to be good enough? Were my videos going to be good enough? Because everyone was able to see them, obviously. So I was kind of like, I was not proud of it yet at that point. I was just kind of like, view the videos, but don't view the videos because I'm kind of awkward when you view them. Yeah. And that's something that I purposely went this time around. Like, now this is kind of like my second, time starting for myself and working on my own video projects. This time around, I want to be proud of what I'm doing. Like, I want to be able to, because it's always, like, only later when I look back at the YouTube channel and the company that I built, I was like, this is really cool. Like,
yeah.
Years later, when I was looking back at the content that I'd made, I was like, oh my gosh, I did not realize that I had just like built everything like that. So it is, I think this time my challenge or my challenge to myself is like, I want to be proud of what I'm doing and I want to, like own it almost. Yeah.
Yeah, as you should, because that's also the reason why LinkedIn also hired you a bit, right? Because they saw you were doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at
That's
that.
how I got into LinkedIn. Yeah,
exactly. If you didn't do it, then you didn't have your job at LinkedIn and you would have not met Philippe. So, yeah, it's a full circle moment.
It's a full circle moment. So, ending on that full circle, what's your key takeaway, Arysha?
I think it's really, it was really good to say out loud that you have to listen to yourself. That you really have to, if you feel a certain way about something, just take a time, sit back and really reflect and then just go on. And I think that was something just to say that out loud, and that I took some time for myself to reflect and heal, and then think about, okay, what are my passions, what are my talents, and what I want to do. That really helped. And just to talk to you guys and really think about, okay, that's true. That's something that I did for the last half year. And that changed the perspective, and that changed everything to having Glitter&Goals now. So I'm really happy that I got to talk to you guys, and also for myself reflect on the past half year. And of course in the beginning it was really awful, but now I'm really happy and having the new energy to work on my my dreams and my goals. So thank you so much for this conversation, guys. I'm really happy about it.
Thank you. This is the actual game changer story. I think like it started out being, a rough patch, and then now you're just getting so much energy from it, and it's where you want to be. So I love hearing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Okay, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for joining us, Arysha. We are going to be posting some espresso videos, so some kind of like short key takeaways, like the highlights of this conversation. We're going to be posting them on our YouTube channel. So it's CoffeeBreak Live. And you will be able to find loads of our espressos, also the espressos that we mentioned, some of the tips that we got from our other game changers. So you can go there for tips on wellness, productivity. What else do we have? Content production as well.
Backstage
Content.
Yeah.
So we have loads there, and we're still building it. So there will be more now of Arysha there as well. I'll be editing today, and I heard loads of good espressos. I was like, ooh, espresso there, espresso there. So I'm gonna be editing it. I'm happy with this. So check out our YouTube channel, subscribe there as well. So we'll be able to grow it even further and make more content for it.
And for you, Arysha, like for who like watching that, like how can I find you? Like how can I learn more about Glitter&Goals? Like
so you can always follow me on LinkedIn. Let's start at LinkedIn. My name is Arysha Lemmers, so you can follow me there. And we're really active on Instagram, so you can follow us on Glitter&Goals.nl. That's our Insta page. Or you can follow me on I am Arysha, and then you can always follow me and get also some awesome content tips.
I'm imagining Glitter&Goals. I'm going to be following. I wasn't following at this point, but I'm imagining something very colorful and stylish. So I'd love to follow that.
Yeah, you can also see a lot of entrepreneurs there for mostly Dutch, of course, but a lot of entrepreneurs, and we also hand out a lot of content tips and also business tips, and just follow us, and hopefully, and if anybody has a question, just let me know.
Cool. I love it. I'm really happy that we got to talk to you today. I know that you have a busy day ahead, so good to see that you had your coffee with us and you have some energy for the rest of the day. We do, at least. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for asking me.
And thank you to whoever was watching today. We'll be back in not next week, Tuesday, but the week after. And we will have another game changer for you. And we'll be revealing who this is about next week. So more on that to come.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. See you.
Bye.
Bye.